Happy New Year, guys. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Day one. Hope everybody here is going to get it hard in terms of their fitness, in terms of their mindset, in terms of their whys. Hope everybody had a good 2024. My 2024 was kind of crazy. Thoughts on walking 5 miles before you go to sleep. So, let's break that down. If the goal is to burn fat, right? If the goal is to be able to rest well at night and not have tons of energy, or potential injury, I think fasting, right, for 5 hours before you go to sleep, and then walking is a great strategy for burning fat and utilizing fat as the main substrate of energy to get the goal done, which is what? A workout. But people don't associate walking with working out. Why? Because most people walk in an automated-like state with their phones down, right? Which means their head is tilted down, just botted. AirPods, EMF going through the brain, socks super tight, constraining their feet, and then shoes, right? So I wouldn't call that a walk in terms of optimization. Optimización, tío. That's what I think. So I think it's a great strategy. I think it's better than working out at night. How to beat addiction by substituting the dopamine you're getting from that addiction for a healthier alternative that hopefully has the same amount of dopamine, and then regulating the threshold down by increments of like 10, 20%, 25%. You're cooked? Not at all. To be honest, I'm really tired. I've been not sleeping for like 4 days in a row. And then the last 2 days I've slept 5 hours each night. And I've been doing a lot of snowboarding, a lot of fasting, a lot of walking. I'm just honestly super tired. But I wanted to drop by here and say, Happy New Year, right? And just throw some data sets in terms of like what your why is. Because if you understand your why, then you really don't need motivation. Motivation's fleeting, right? Like for me, for example, my why here on this live right now, instead of me going to sleep or me taking a rest, right? I'm going to extend it. Is giving key concepts that if you can take away and you apply can actually change your life. And then if you can actually grasp that concept, apply it, then you can intrinsically add your own perspective based on how you live life, and then you can impart that same nugget or that same information through your lenses to somebody else, right? And that's value. So that's why I'm doing it. So idea for me, why? I was in my 20s, felt really bad. Some people already know the story, overweight. I realized enough was enough. Like, I realized the amount of pain I had. I realized how stiff I was. I realized the amount of inflammation, the gut irritation, my thoughts, my behaviors didn't really match or synchronize in terms of the Chronos time in which I was living in this chaos kind of period in comparison to when I was younger, right? So you have to analyze like what happened in that time frame. But I can tell you, I got up one morning and I was just aching, dude. I was just sleeping a lot. I'm like, dude, I got to switch things up. And the first thing I did was switching the environment. I feel like that's, if you can switch your environment, in my opinion, if you're dealing with, because what people don't understand is like a lot of people are depressed, quote unquote. A lot of people feel suicidal, but a lot of it is self-imposed. Self-imposed by the system, self-imposed by our automated like behavior without questioning the reasoning as to why we're doing what we're doing. Perfect example. You have your phone charging next to you when you go to sleep, right? And that's what you have plugged. Or you're listening to music, or you're listening to background noise. You're programming yourself at night. You're not sleeping ideally. Like you can pull it off once or twice. But if you're talking about, hey, you're getting older, you're subjecting your bodies to certain laws of nature, like the law that we're all subjected to, which is the law of entropy, degradation, right? So if you take that into consideration, you're like, okay, well, rest is optimal. If I want to build muscle, if I want to get shredded, if I want to feel healthy, if I want to repair my hormonal health, all these factors is your environment and how can you optimize rest and recovery. And when people actually grasp that concept, then it becomes paramount that they shift their environment, and then epigenetics can take place over the so-called genetics that we all subject ourselves to, like bots. Genetics, bro. Genetics. Well, if it was for genetics, I would be prone to skin cancer because it runs in my family, right? And I've had sun poisoning in the past. Empirical data. Empirical data, bro. Empirical data, bro. Nate, do you know how to get shredded? Empirical data, bro. Anyway, happy 2025. It's going to be a crazy year. I'm working a lot behind the scenes. But let's throw that aside and get back to the discussion, which was your why. I feel a lot of gym bros, a lot of automated-like people that just don't have an understanding of potentially who they are as an individual because they never spend time in isolation because they're always in the group mentality, group herd, right? What's the problem? The problem is amplification of noise. Noise in terms of like information, what you're consuming, what you're feeding yourself. So if you have a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, an 8-year-old is watching all these idiots, clowns, right? Working out, doing all these dumb things, like really dumb things. And that's what they're absorbing in their mind. If they don't have a different paradigm, that's what they associate fitness and health. So my whole thing is kind of like, why not break the paradigm when it's clearly not working? But what do I know? What do I know? Are we NPCs? Honestly, I don't think NPCs are real. I just use the terminology NPC because a lot of people are so dumbed down by their environment, by the toxicity, by the influence, by the stress, by the blue light, by the EMF, by the relationships, by the self-esteem, but by not doing what they're said they're going to do, by not reaching certain financial goals because they basically worship mammon because they're automated, like, right? But these are things that you don't really understand until you start studying maritime law. And then you start realizing inflation. Now they're basically just fucking everybody. So when you start understanding these things, then you start taking things with a little bit more grain of salt and creativity. And when creativity occurs, money flows. A lot of billionaires say that, but people don't really take that into consideration. And then you have to take the whole creative aspect as to what creativity is and put it in its own box. Why am I addressing this? Well, I'm addressing this because it's very important to perceive everything from different lenses, from a creative lens, from an analytical lens, from a lens where there's no bias, right? So my whole take is, if you're going to want to build an elite physique, right? If you want to build a healthy paradigm, my opinion is look at people who you want to emulate, listen to what they have to say, question it, do your research, and then cross-reference it with other people and then test it for yourself, right? And then there's a lot of free things that you can do that you have no excuses. Whether you're from India, whether you're from Pakistan, whether you're from Nigeria, whether you're from Venezuela, whether you're from Argentina, whether you're from the Ukraine, whether you're from La La Land, or whether you're past the Antarctica, it doesn't matter. There's certain laws that if you subject yourself to, you will get shredded. Period. If you know, you know. If you don't know, then you're clearly sleeping in a rock, shooting some train up your ass. Mm-hmm. Gotta be dynamic, bros. Gotta be dynamic, bros. I haven't been working out in like 2 weeks. Looking shredded, a lot of fasting, a lot of snowboarding, a lot of walking, a lot of stretching. Right? And when you understand that you can break the paradigm, and the paradigm can only be broken when you understand that you can question things, and that you can think outside the box, and that you can explore. Maybe you don't have to go to that gym, right? where all the hot Latinas with their fake tits and their fake noses and their fake lips, not bashing that, it's just a stereotype. And it's kind of funny because they all look like the same. It's cookie cutter, right? It's not original. Like, I don't mind plastic. That's fine. It's just when you look the same, dude. It's like, oh, they come from that factory. That's what I'm trying to convey. And then you understand, oh, I don't have to pay that elite membership. I don't have to flex. I can really go outside in the sun. I can ground. I can tap into magnetism, water, cold exposure, right? I can grab bands, hang from a tree. Like, there's really no excuse, in my opinion. But what do I know? What do I know? One ring to rule them all. Question is, who's got the rings, bro? Question is, who got the rings? How to increase bone mass in your jaw? That's a good question. Maybe red light? Now, maybe don't listen to me, because I don't know. All I know is I'm going to train. I'm going to start eating more. I've been, so my routine the last few days, a lot of fasting, right? A lot of fasting in terms of daily fast, multi-day fast. Sometimes juices, sometimes raw milk. I posted some of the protocols in Anime Shreds. But the idea was kind of to reset the gut, give it a break from all the carb load that I'd given it before in terms of like carb cycling and going heavy on the clean bulk. Taking time off of that, fasting a lot, and then introducing healthy fats, healthy probiotics, prebiotics, exposing myself to as much sun as possible. But I am in the mountains. It is cold. I don't have exposure to sun, and sun is imperative, right? So I try to hedge myself with a lot of red light therapy. It's not as efficient, it's not as good. I don't look as shredded or as tan, but it's fine. And I feel like sometimes you don't have to pursue certain things, and it's good to cycle. But I'm doing a lot of snowboarding in the fastest state, and it's great for shredding. And it's good for spine health. In my opinion, like, if you know how to be in tune with your body, you can really twist and turn. You can cruise down a mountain 2, 3, 4 hours, get a good leg workout in a fasted state, and really focus on drills where you're not like carving or like going super fast down the mountain, but really like curving, almost like you're like surfing on water, and focusing on the twisting, right? And I've really been working on that because I noticed a lot of tightness in my upper back from all the hypertrophy training. So that's more or less where I've been at. And then reintroducing food. So I've been, my whole take, like, if you really want to optimize food, it's kind of like the basics. What are the basics, guys? What are the basics? What are the basics as human beings, right? We interact with each other. We talk to each other. We say hello, but it's kind of hard nowadays because everybody's just the phone, real life, people freak out, right? It's not like that. It's kind of like local farmers in the area. Like, for example, if I go to certain areas, I'm going to be there for a period of time. I want to know where I can get my raw milk. I want to know where I can get cacao, fair trade, for example. I found already today a spot, beautiful, and I ordered tons. And then local ranchers, buying from them, right? Because you know you can physically see the ranch. You can join a herd share. So that's my whole opinion. If you don't have access to that, yeah, you guys kind of know the drill already. Work your way up to the worst food possible, right? Which is seed oils for all the gym bros that sleep with their heads in microwaves because it's good for them. They sleep their heads in their microwave right next to the microwave because, like, oh, they got to wake up at 2 a.m. and meal prep and eat their oat and then go back to sleep. Damn, they're like, bro, I can't do a 2-day fast. I'm going to self-cannibalize, bro. I'm going to self-cannibalize. I'll lose all my muscle tissue. That's because they're not metabolically flexible. They're literally carb-sucking loading machines. Hyper-palatable foods. You cut that dopamine that's quote-unquote terrible for you, right? And the people that believe it's terrible for you are crazy lunatics, conspiracy theorists that are totally chatted with 8-packs. And then the ones that say it's really healthy for you look like fat lards, like walking goblins, right? So you don't have to be a rocket scientist. Observe with your 2 eyeballs. And listen to both people, and then make your decisions and split test. My opinion, super botted. Seed oils, bro. Like, I saw a comment, like, You know, people are dumb when people don't really think things twice. And I say that because I catch myself doing it all the time. But I'm like, this whole seed oil thing video went kind of viral, right? Which is kind of funny because I edited it, so I sounded like a little bit douchey. It's all viral tips. You guys will learn later. I'm doing a whole thing behind the scenes for you guys. Anyway, key concept. Moron said, bro, vegetable oils, seed oils are 50% butter. So butter is bad. I'm like, dude, is this kid using his brain? Right? If I put 8-karat gold cash, right, and then put it all together, melt it, and put it with shit, right? It's still a piece of shit with different ingredients, bro. It's pure butter, pure tallow, olive oil. Ideally, don't cook it too hard. Like, what that 50% butter says, bro, like, use your brain. But it's hard to use your brain, right? If you're always blue light, if you're always La La Land, Mountain Dew, Call of Duty. And then you see somebody like me walking and you get jealous. And it's okay, I understand. I also understand that if I was fat walking normally, you wouldn't say anything and you wouldn't judge. The dichotomy, the irony, I don't know. Damn. I don't like eating raw meat, to be honest. I think that's for adrenochrome aficionados. I see the health benefits, I just don't like it. I'm also going to start ordering steak well done and medium well all the time. Get those videos go viral. Sir, can I have a steak well done? Then, dude, thousands of DM comments, bro. Shit. Marketing. When's the hero stack dropping? Bro, the hero stack was an alchemical process that took a long time to make. It will come when it needs to come. Right? A wizard is never late. A wizard is never early. He's precisely on time when he means to. That's what I think about the hero stack. But it's fire. That creatine H&B pack with pineapple flavor, really good. A lot of testing, like the flavors, all that stuff. Because most people don't nail it. It's all sugar or a synthetic version of sugar that's not sugar, so that's what it's a disaster. Un desastre, tío. What are your goals for 2025? I will not say those on social media. How can I get shredded as soon as possible? I would personally listen to all my stuff that's for free and apply it. Start there. If you want a six-pack, bro. You want a six-pack. You want a six-pack, bro, so you can get laid, bro. That's a terrible why. That's a shallow why. That's an immature why. Does this make sense? Do you comprehend the problem? Guys, I want to take time and say, first round of dojo mode was crazy. I saw personally, like with my own 2 eyeballs, my pineal gland is still a little calcified, so like potentially half, like a third eyeball. Crazy transformations, fantastic work. We did have the top 3 winners. I did announce them. And round 2 of dojo mode is beginning. It began today, and it's cutting the 8th. That's the window for you to be able to join, to participate for the dojo tournament, to be able to win. But you can always listen to tips and do your own thing whenever you want, however you want. With motivation, without motivation, With a Bugatti, without a Bugatti. How often do you fast and for how long? Well, I think there's a lot of fasting strategies. I think fasting is a fantastic tool. I think fasting is also a stressor on the body. I also think fasting is not the most ideal tool for most people, because most people go from one extreme to the other, from being super unhealthy to wanting to fast 3 or 4 days, right? And then the body goes into shock, and then their automated like mind associates the shock with the switching of fasting. Hence, fasting is bad, not their whole life of bad decisions, switching a different style, and the body going into shock. Do you see the dichotomy? Do you see the problem? I would suggest start intermittent fasting. Start seeing how your body feels, right? When you break your fast, don't break your fast with carbohydrates. Break your fast with healthy proteins, healthy fats, right? Why? Because that's the substrate of energy you're introducing once you've decided to go off the window of fasting into feasting. The problem is most people are carb dependent because you're born into planet Earth and your mom, your dad want to give you what? A cookie. The carbs, the cereal. Oh, it's cute. Give him the ice cream. Look at his face. Oh, his face is so cute. Sugar, 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 sugar. Oh, you're being a good boy. Sugar, sugar. Pat on the head. You're being a bad boy. Spanking. Right? It's like crazy, dude. It's a reinforcement. It's a disaster. You might as well tell him, hey, do cocaine. It's not as addicting. Your nose is going to hurt a lot. It's definitely going to cost a lot more. You can't afford it. But there's potentially healthy alternatives, like maybe cold bath, cold exposure, other alternatives. What would you feed your kids? I do not know what I would feed my kids. I would feed my kids knowledge, wisdom. That's what I feed my kids. That's what I feed my children. Wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Would you become a vigilante in Thailand? Probably not. But I know some personal vigilantes. Vigilantes, Batman. Batman de las ciudades, tío. So, first vigilante I know, I forget the name, but there's these guys from New York that did do jiu-jitsu. I forget what their name was, but they would go out at night and just look for thugs or people that were stealing and just beat them up. It was crazy, dude. And the cops didn't mind it, which is kind of funny. And I was told all kind of stories. I thought it was super cool. Personally, I'm not a vigilante. I'm just a traveler. Why these glasses? These glasses are blue light blockers that have different levels to them, right? So I adjust them according to the exposure of blue light, hence a shield of mitigation of the light spectrum that I don't want into my eye that's going to kind of off balance the circadian rhythm that naturally goes with the day, right? But if you're out in the cold exposure, you're not exposing yourself to the sun. I'm working on the computer all day, right? I'm not going outside and I don't have something to counterbalance the blue light. In a couple months, I could be from happy, super good, high levels of dopamine to being depressed and like, oh, what's going on with me? I need pills, bro. I need medication, bro. I need medication, bro. Put me in this debt, bro. That's the problem, bro. I feel sick, pop the pill, bro. I just say just start using your head a little bit more. All right, this is actually a good question. I play rugby and I had a bad concussion. Should I continue to play? In my opinion, if you're not going to make it a pro, it's a hobby, and you got a concussion, I would avoid it. I would do things where I'm actually protecting my brain. Yeah, that's just my take on it. Now, if you're going pro and you're making a lot of money, you're going to be a little brain dead in the process, then you kind of have to weigh it out. To each their own. How do I get shredded abs? Join the dojo. $19, I think, right now. It's going up, though. Going up soon, bros. Should you recommend MCT oil? Coconut oil is fine. MCT oil is good. I mean, I think at the end of the day, you kind of want to tap into lipids, right? When you're breaking your fast. If you want to become metabolically flexible really fast, and most people never really tap into ketones, right? And I feel like you can really tap into really anime level shreds if you can understand certain key principles, right? Like people want, like, Nate, what's the best? Nate, what's the best? Nate, what's the best? Nate, shortcuts. Biohacking is biohacking. No, idiot. Think. Principles, optimization, synchronizing them all together so you can live an optimal life, so then it potentiates your life, right? That's how you have to think. Because if you come with the other mentality, you're never going to really, it's one shortcut to the other. It's one meme coin to the other meme coin. One project to the other project. One startup to another startup. Okay, Web 2 didn't work. Oh, Web 3, Web 1. Oh, brick and mortar. Instead of like actually stopping and thinking. Thinking is underrated. Why is it underrated? Because it's kind of boring and people don't like spending time with themselves. But it's very hard to spend time with yourself if it's information, dopamine, blue light, people, stimulus, and now by myself. And it's like, oh, right? That's the problem. Most people can't spend time by themselves. And I feel like a lot of my methodologies, a lot of my training, because I spent time by myself, questioning things and then trying it. And being fine if I was wrong, and not being too cocky or arrogant if I was right. Because it'll come back in the butt and bite you. Guys, going back to the sequencing and the principles, right? If you can adopt certain principles, like your body is resilient, like your body is smart, your body can adapt. If there's people that are spiking themselves with lethal ingredients that could kill them at low dosages, right? They're microdosing themselves, then they become resilient to the venom. You have people that train with cobras, you have people that train with scorpions, and they inject themselves the venom, and then they can tolerate potential bites. I think it's the same way with fasting. I feel like people that hit plateaus in terms of how they look in terms of their aesthetics, if that's what they're trying to pursue, or fitness, or they just hit a plateau, it's a lot of rigid. It's a lot of people, I see a lot of left analytical, cookie cutter, like count my macros, the same routine, right? Looking down on the notepad, doing the same thing, looking at themselves in the mirror in the same position, always breaking their fast at 1 p.m., always stopping their fast at 9 p.m. Like, that's good in the beginning, but I feel like you should switch it up and fluctuate it on the body. Go through periods of feasting, go through periods of fasting. Switch up the training style according on how you feel, according to what your goals are. But it's very hard to do that if you're not in tune with your body. Or it's very hard to do that if you really like doing the flat bench press and you don't realize that maybe incline bench press will give you a better chest because you're hitting it from the top, or maybe even hitting with cables, in my opinion, or bands, or even dumbbell flies, or presses. The problem is people like something to become dogmatic. Miyamoto Musashi said the same exact thing when he developed his two-sword style technique, right? Because he realized that all these dojos had developed dogmatic styles, very ritualistic. Some even claimed it came from the gods themselves. It's like Solomon said, nothing new under the sun. So the same things that applied back in the time apply nowadays. People that literally have a boner for CrossFit, and then people that love running their marathons and they don't mind dying early, right? On that carb-dependent diet. That's totally fine. Why? Because they become dogmatic and rigid with something. They love it and they don't want to switch it up. Nathan, do I believe people should switch up their styles or switch up their routines in order for the body to not become more adapted, in order to get better results, whether it's putting on mass, whether it's shredding. Yes. Do I also believe it can get chaotic if you're always trying to switch it up? Yes. Do I believe it's a stressor? Yes. That's why you have to take it step by step and time by time. What I'm saying is, you don't have to always switch it up. You can do 2 weeks here, a month here, switch it up for a couple of days. That's what I'm trying to convey. And that's what I'm always doing with my body. That's why I'm always changing and looking different. Methylene blue eye drops, yeah, they're fantastic. I've been doing them a lot today. The only thing is it'll leave your eyes red, like sometimes, like bloodshot, and it'll stain your eyes. But it's fantastic. I've noticed like massive difference. I've been using it since June or July, and I've noticed a massive difference in terms of vision, in terms of like, in terms of just how clear my eyes look and feel. Also, I feel like it's a good combination if you feel like you have the flu or sinus, right? And you feel that congestion. I feel like it really clears it up. And I really like stacking it with sunset and red light therapy. That's just my take on it. If you want to know more about that, it's in Anime Shreds. You can check it out. But I've been cycling off of it and I just got back on it. I genuinely feel if people understood the pros and the cons of different training styles and then developed a game plan that's like, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve, and then they realize what the pros and the cons of all of them are, and look at the top leading people, quote unquote, that are talking about it. What's their lifespan? What does the lifestyle look like by the time they decease from Earth, right? And then be like, okay, is this a viable option? Yes or no? That's kind of how I started. Like, I totally ditched the whole, like, go to the gym. I was like, no, I need to create an environment where I can, like, thrive, right? If you're not feeling strong, optimized, healthy in the mind, and you can't do 5 push-ups, right? And then you have a bunch of dicks in the gym, right, showing off, it's, in my opinion, it's not a healthy environment. At least in the beginning. Once you can do 20, 30, 40, you feel more confident, then you can go in there. That's just my take on it. Because the gyms can be very distracting, especially gyms with tons of dumb noise, terrible music, massive screens, TVs. I really like locking in, bro. Like sometimes I don't like talking to people when I work out, to be honest. Yeah, after the gym or after a training session, fine. Or in between sets, if we're stretching, dynamic stretching, I'm fine, but yeah, that's just my take. Opinions on New Year's resolutions, or do you feel people should just do the actual in the first place? I mean, in my opinion, it's the latter, the actual in the first place. I just think that the whole New Year's resolution thing is kind of just like a reminder, right? It's like, hey, it's New Year's, like, are you gonna get your shit together, yes or no? I wouldn't make it as the factor, like, okay, in 2 months it's gonna be New Year's and this is when I get my shit together. No, you start today. And if you fail today, then you have tomorrow potentially. Like, it's not certain, it's not given, but that's what you have. So you can't plan for 2 months if you don't even know, or you don't even have the power, right, to be able to live 2 months. So just take it day by day. So I feel like it's the latter. It's just a good reminder. It's like, hey, January 1st, bro. Get your act together. Because time flies, bro. Time literally flies. Time literally flies. Yeah, and we'll see, bro. We'll see. A lot of these guys talking crap on the internet, young 20s, they look terrible. They look like they're late 30s. Here's the thing. I think some of the most ironic thing is when people talk bad, first of all, with an Anon account, right? That's already botted. Second is when they say something and then they clearly don't represent what they contradict that you're saying, or they're trying to make a point. I just feel like, dude, have you looked at yourself in the mirror before you said what you're going to say? Because if you did, it would save you a lot of social embarrassment that people just don't reply or comment to. Why am I bringing this up? Social awareness, bro. People lack everything. People nowadays in the 2024, in the even early 2000s, have been introduced to a lot of new gadgets, a lot of new stimulus, a lot of new agents in terms of disruptors opened by Pandora's box, in terms of what we're talking about, S-curve adoption of technology. And we combine that with a bad diet, with stress, with depression, with bad thoughts, with negativity, with that just goes compounding so hard, right? So think about it, like, they're like, what's your degree? Where do you study? Bro, what degree? What study, my ass? The fuck are you talking about, bro? We have people dying more from hospitals now than ever. People more chronic disease now than ever. New disease popping out of the ass like it's a freaking video game. Degree? What the fuck are you talking about? Degree, bro? Everybody's going from good to normal to average to bad to terrible to not human. I don't know. Science, bro. Science, bro. Centralized science, bro. Who pays the centralized science, bro? Who funds that shit, bro? I don't know, bro. Do your research, bro. Don't, hey, hey. You. Hey, you're thinking differently? Whoa, this is not the status quo, bro. The fuck? All right, bro. All right, we got to give him a label. What should we label this crazy lunatic? Yeah, that's where it all starts, bro. Empirical data, bro. Empirical data don't lie. Empirical data. It don't lie. El que sabe, sabe. El que no sabe, no sabe porque está dormido, tío. Es así. Cheers. Kanpai. Hey, the sun's bad for you, bro. Put the sunscreen on. It'll help you, bro. Put some sunglasses on, bro. Eat this vegan gay-ass diet, bro. Shit. Do you guys understand how botted everything is going, bro? But what do I know? All I know is you can go through long periods without working out, without self-cannibalizing, being super shredded. That's all I know, based on empirical data. Now you can question my authority. I let you question my authority, and I won't label you a heretic. I'll just be like, bro, you look fat, bro. You're got bags under your eyes. You look like you're half dead, and you're prescribing me a pill, a shot up my ass. The fuck, bro, are you talking about? Wake up, dude. Like, dude, wake up. Holy cow, bro. Like, these last few years have been such a joke. Like, comedy, bro. Like, walking through streets with comedy. It's like COVID hit, we weren't wearing masks, not doing anything. And then guess what? Then we had the whole incident with Ohio, with the rails. And then nobody was wearing masks. And we're the only ones wearing masks. Like, dude, craziness, bro. Craziness. But it's all good. At the end of the day, if you want to be a good boy, get your hall pass. Go to the hall. And make sure you always have your hall pass with you. And then once you graduate from the school and this hall pass, then it's make sure you got your mask on. Are you compliant? Are you being a good boy? All right, you got some sugar. All right, shot up the ass. All right, here's a Dunkin' Donut. Here's a Dunkin' Donut, bro. Here's a burger, bro. Damn, dude. They really dude. If okay, in my opinion, they should have learned from drop shippers. They at least had better tripwires. That's just my whole take on it. At least they had better tripwires to segueing people into doing that bullshit. There's nothing new under the sun, bro. I'm muted. It's all good. If I'm muted, it was meant to be. Oh. All right. Can you guys hear me? Shows your abs? Nah, bro, I'm good. I've heard they're around there. I heard that the empirical data lingers around the abdomen of this specimen. Bro, it's AI, bro. It's a healthy human being, motherfucker. Mike Menser, opinion, he's good. He just did a lot of stimulants, right? If he's doing steroids, and then I don't want to bash the guy, but if he was going heavy on like other stuff, people know you do research, that could potentially, the workout style. My whole take on it, he is a total G. He took the body to extents that nobody ever took it. In my opinion, he got robbed from Mr. Olympia. He deserved to win. Yeah, hopefully it would have lasted longer. But I left a key video on YouTube in terms of taking progressive overload with a different approach, and in terms of taking it till failure. But I think the idea is phenomenal, and I think it's what he says in terms of like, you don't have to go work out every single day, right? Like dogmatic views that other bodybuilders had in the day. I feel like he broke the paradigm. So I feel, yeah, he definitely pioneered in many aspects, and yeah, definitely, yeah, smart man. Very smart man. Yeah, his genius is undeniable. Yeah, he's very smart. I know what I'm going to break my fast with. White meat. I'm going to do some wings. I'm going to do some wings from my local farmer. Thoughts on Javier Milei? I've never heard of that. Who is that? Who is Javi? Who's Javi? Should we use air conditioner in the summer? Ideally not, like, unless you're super hot. Fan, understand thermostat concepts, like, hey, you can cool your hands, you can cool your feet, you can cool your head, and then you can actually endure the heat a lot longer. You can do simple tips like grabbing a piece of cabbage, like a leaf of cabbage, putting it on your head with the hat. That will automatically cool your head. You can grab wrapped cold water, like a cloth, rinse it off, put it on your head, put it on your neck, put your feet under cold water, put your hands under cold water, and then maybe rub the fan. And I feel like that would be a better option. Yeah, but if you have to and it's super hot and there's, yeah, that's fine. What should women avoid during pregnancy? Thoughts on protocols? Yes, it's pivotal, right? People don't understand most of the kids that look dumb, retarded, nerfed, like in terms of if we're going to perceive it from the lens of an automated like mind of a video game, right? They're totally nerfed. Why are they nerfed? Well, because their parents had really bad habits for months, years before they had sex. And you spawned, right? So all of that bad juju came to you, broski. Like, that's just the way it is. Smoking, alcohol, eating, certain prescriptions people are giving, like a lot of it is taking a toll on the kids. Is there solutions? Is there ways to potentially help? Yes. I'm not like pointing fingers. I'm not. All I'll say is look at the data. There's new shit coming out every day, bro. It's like, it's econ, bro. It's like, we got this new disease, this other new disease, the new thing. Back in the day, they're like, oh, it's so rare. We'd never see anything like this. And now they have 10 a day, 12 a day. Like, I don't know, bro. I just look at kids nowadays, and some of them look like hobgoblins, bro. God bless them. God bless them in terms of they're still human beings in their souls. But, like, the epigenetic factor from their environment hit them so hard that they just look like gremlins. And why do I say this with such tenacity and audacity? Well, because I put myself through the same exact way, and that's how I look like, right? So people take that into consideration. Then you don't approach it from a bias of emotion, but rationale and rationality. That's what I'm trying to convey. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to point fingers. Back in the day, 90s, 80s, kid would build forts. Nowadays, they're giving children 2-3-year-old iPads. Yeah, Netflix. All right, shut the kid up. You give him an iPad. He's crying, give him an iPad. Stick blue light. Problem solved. They can't sleep, bro. They can't sleep. And then the kids hate the parents hate the kids. Right, it's literally... that's a whole rabbit hole. It's a whole rabbit hole. So many questions. Like, you pick a question, then you're gonna jump down the rabbit hole. Jump down the rabbit hole. All right. So, empirical data. I'm totally gonna just ignore all the questions and just go with a train of thought I had. Empirical data is pivotal, crucial. In my opinion, you want to get toned abs, right? Like, I'm talking about, like, I haven't worked out at all, right? I haven't trained that much. A lot of it is getting rid of fluids. A lot of it is fasting. A lot of understanding how to potentially do diuretics, which are very dangerous. If you don't do them with like teas and everything, you could kill yourself. So you have to be careful. And then it's understanding how to nourish yourself back again, and understanding when to do heavy fasting, when to do a dry fast. Because most people want to do dry fast. You have no business doing dry fast if you can't do intermittent fasting, bro. But what do I mean? If you start training a lot, I start eating a lot. I start oatmeal in the morning, cardio, abs later at night. Yeah, I'll have a six-pack, but it'll be bloated. I'll have fat, right? This is me, dude, not working out, chilling, looking lean, bro. Right? Different approach. Different ideology. But you have to build a mass first, and you put on some fat. That's why it's a clean bulk. Periods of feasting, periods of fasting. Principles. Is Samurai Champloo good? Yeah, it's fantastic anime. Great anime. Adventure? I have a lot of adventures. I have a lot of side quests potentially planned. I just don't like to get my hopes up anything in advance, because it's never like granted. So I kind of just like focus on today and the next few days. Guys, you want to hear something hilarious? So, very interesting. You walk on the street, right, with an average physique, no swag, nothing. People won't say anything. They will look at you, bat an eye, whatever. You start looking a little bit fat. You start doing acne. You start getting all the quote-unquote unattractive features, and it's really bad. People start making fun of you, right, and bashing you, because you've gone from the status quo to the other side of the pendulum, which is, disdain based on societal prejudices and how people view quote-unquote beauty, which beauty, in my opinion, is subjective and it can shift. Now, digressed. You have the other option, super shredded, walking, stud. Don't be cocky. Don't use it in terms of trying to pursue it to get laid. But do realize that people hate on you. People look at you. People break necks. Some people admire you. Some people be super jealous. It shouldn't matter at all. At all. You should do it because you want to be healthy. That's it. And if people are motivated and they want to join and start getting healthy, that's fine. Right? But what? I'm not going to take my shirt off because you got a blobby fat thing. Your chick is actually beautiful and she's looking at me. No, that's not my problem. That's your problem, buddy. Get in shape, dude, and stop bothering me. Stop busting my balls, bro. Because I'm not going to hit on your chick, bro. That's how I see it. And then you look terrible, and then You don't gotta worry about that. Then they look at you and they're like, oh, this guy's beta, bro. This guy's beta, bro. This guy's a beta. They got beta. Fucking retards, bro. Where am I from? I'm from the sun, bro. From the moon. Plasma ball. Supposedly, based on the internet, I'm AI now. iPod Nano? I got my iPod Nano on eBay, bro. That's what I use to snowboard. Am I trying to get bigger? Not right now. I've noticed just from fasting, not even stretching, you become automatically more flexible, right? You're starting to mitigate inflammation. For example, I'm talking about flexibility where you're not actually stretching at all. You're just, I think the reduction of inflammation is so good that your body actually can move and bend and not feel like it's pain, right? So protocols I like to do on a daily basis, I'm fasting, I'll grab my hand, twist it, right? So I have a twisting right here. I'll put pressure points and then I'll start moving it. And I'm controlling this kind of health and I'll start putting pressure. I also bought rice buckets with rice. So I'm gonna start training forearms. So these are kind of like the protocols I'm doing. I'm snowboarding right now. I'm taking a break a lot from food. I had put on some pretty good muscle size. I lost a little bit, but I also lost some fat. And I was taking just a break because I want to take a break. Took I think it was a month, maybe a month and a half break from mainly meat. So I've been doing my protein with eggs and other substrates of energy, but not meat. But these are kind of like exercises that are bypassed, right? Why? Because, all right, let's see how smart you guys are based in terms of what's cool, what's trending, what's not. When we look at fitness, on a scale from 1 to 10, what's it revered as in terms of hypertrophy? We start talking about hypertrophy muscles, guaranteed everybody's like 8 to 10. Oh, it's super important. But then people compromise flexibility, stability, mobility, right? Dexterity, even things like just being able to be fast, being able to be limber. Because every style of training they've done is so rigid and so constraining and heavy lifting weight in such a manner, in a capacity that there's no expression of the body itself in terms of the fullest potential. That's why when you take a break from actually doing hypertrophy training, start training with bands, body weight, you start naturally getting more flexible, right? So something I like doing a lot, katana with my hand, with a band, is I'll grab pressure right here with my hand against an object, and instead of doing tons of rep like a lot of guys do with heavy weight, it's just like isometric pressure. And I'll put pressure with a band, with a sword against a tree, with my hand against another hand, and just work on the squeeze, work on the squeeze, work on the squeeze. And then as I keep getting stronger, I feel better, more in tune with my body, I'll start hitting more weights and then drop set the weight. And now it's different strategies. The problem is like once you start spending time, you start understanding pros, cons, you start understanding key principles, then you can start developing your own strategies. And then you can use different strategies from different people to give you ideas, right? But it's kind of hard to do that if you do different exercise that nobody's doing and everybody's like, bro, what the fuck? Like let's be rational here. How big do your biceps have to be? How big does your chest have to be? How big do your shoulders or your back or your glutes or your calves or your quads have to be for you to be good in bed? 0. Maybe you need some hypertrophy training, some muscle, but like 0, bro. All these guys, massive biceps, terrible hip flexors, the last 2 seconds in bed, bro, like disaster in terms of manliness, in my opinion, right? All these alpha guys. Start stretching, start loosening up, start going for walks, start fasting, range of motion, and maybe your girl will thank you. ILS, bro. All these gym bros fucking ILS, bro. Like walking in the gym, they're like fucking idiots, dude. And it's just comedy because everybody sees it except them. It's literally like Michael Scott, bro. You're scared to be small? That's the fragmented mentality, dude. All these guys are like, bro, I want to get bigger, I want to get bigger. And they don't see, they have like the love handles hanging from the side. Be like, bro, are you going to get rid of that or are you going to keep busting those biceps? That's just my take on it, dude. It's like, how much fat is good? How much rust in the armor is good for the armor, bro? Where can you get these red sunglasses? Anime Shreds, I have some links. What's my height and my weight? I don't know, I forget. Honestly, I barely check my weight. I don't really check my stats at all. Like, I generally don't really. And I have a scale and everything. And I actually have some resources to pay for tests. And I spend money on other stuff that's way more expensive. It's just people don't understand that there's key concepts that are being lost, like intuition and everything. Now, this is something I don't recommend for somebody who's super unhealthy, deathbed, has got a few years, has to switch their life around. But somebody who's normal should be in tune with their body, bro. How do you grow your hair so healthy? I wake up in the morning, I put seed oils, then I put my head in a microwave, anywhere from 30 seconds to 5 minutes. AirPods head, shampoo, conventional, get the cheapest Dollar Tree. Condition, you can use hot water, tap water is fine. Polyester caps, ideally put a hat, constrain your head. Make sure you cut the circulation of the head. Exposure to blue light, a lot of stress. Don't avoid the sun as much as possible. Don't exfoliate or like really stimulate the scalp, and make sure you shampoo your hair every day, 2 times a day. Maybe put some perfume on it as well, some cologne. What other good hacks am I forgetting? I think that's pretty good. I think the gym bros would approve. I'm just trolling. I'm just having a good time. Got him. I told you 2025 is going to be good. I'm just getting started. I think you already asked me the ton oil. I've never tried the ton oil. I don't know. But I have different hair protocols. And sometimes I'll leave my hair super dry and brittle. Sometimes I'll like try to curl it up and leave it super smooth and flow. But at the end of the day, like, your hair is an extension of yourself, and your hair can indicate your level of health, right? So look at people that claim to be super healthy and look at their hair. Look at their nails. Look at their eyes. How do they smell? You don't have to be a rocket scientist. It just takes 2 eyeballs, nose, and the couple senses that we're given. But I feel like super neglected stat right now in fitness is just like pliability, being able to move, right? Being able to be in control of your body. Like, if you want to see somebody who's fit or somebody good in control of their body, there are these bodybuilders snowboarding. Like, dude, they look like literally rocks, bro. Like, you just throwing stone rocks down a mountain. So go for a swim. Like, those are all things. Start, squat down, pop a pimple on your back, tie your shoelaces, pick up your grandkid. When you start doing things like that, and you start seeing the range of motion, the pain on the face, then you could be like, okay. And then the advice that they're giving. Dude, you can have fucking degrees coming out of your anus, bro. I don't give a fuck. That's what I'm trying to convey, bro. If you look like shit. Because then it's just pure hypocrisy, and I'm entertaining hypocrisy, right? And you're judging me and I'm judging you, so it ain't going to go anywhere. We're just going around in circles. Empirical data, bro. Don't lie. We can come and talk later, bro. Bruce Lee would approve. If you know, you know. But go enjoy your seed oils, your your 5, 6, 7, 8 meals a day, your rice and chicken and microwave. Make sure you pack it well, boy. And make sure you get that protein powder every day so you can kill everybody in the gym and at work with your farts. Dude, like, what is going on? Good thing I was born. Not gonna lie. And good thing you guys are entertaining it as well, because I need a lot more people. It's just out of hand. Too many bots. Just getting out of control. Bentonite clay baths, good. Fantastic for detoxing. Your skin will be thanking you. I feel like it also, I like putting charcoal. It'll not always, because it stains your bath and it's kind of a pain in the ass to wipe. But adding clays, I think understanding what you're going to put in your bath and trying to stack it as much as possible and make sure that the Chronos time you're investing in your health is potentiated and maximized is wise investment. That's all I got to say about that. Thoughts on Andrew and Tristan Tate's physique? I mean, everybody already knows what their physique looks like. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not bashing it, nothing. It's like the good, normal, I don't know. Like, they're good fighters. They're massive. Like, I don't think people understand how big those two guys are. Like, you see them on photos and you're like, oh, okay. But when you see them in real life, they're massive dudes, bro. Like, just that moving that kind of size of body already says you have an elite physique and a good physique. Should they shred? In my opinion, 100%. It would be a lot easier. And I think they drink too much coffee, in my opinion. And they should switch it up. That's about it. But they got good physiques. A lot better than 90% of people, bro. Best ab workout? No workout. Principles. What are good principles for doing abs? Well, first good principle for abs is don't hump yourself to oblivion. Right? Have you ever gone to a gym, seen a stereotypical person with tight polyester clothing, laid on the floor, looking at TV or their phone, and just humping themselves to oblivion, just like rocking, right? Not getting anywhere and just making noises? That's a principle that you want to adopt. Don't hump yourself to oblivion. Just like you train your chest, just like you train your back and your biceps, you can do 10 reps. You can do 8 reps. You can do 20, 40 reps. Pure contraction. Nice and steady and slow. And put yourself in the happy zone. Close your eyes and train. But you can also hump yourself to oblivion. That's good for training. For the cardio that will happen later. But that's about it. It ain't going to get you that optimized with abs. It's just good to wiggle. You look like the worms. Like, back in the day, worms Armageddon, bro. 2D. You look like those little worms moving around, bro. Wiggle. That's when I see guys working out, I'm like, wiggle. It's funny, dude. And it's usually the big guys, bro. The big guys that bench a lot. Like, and it's the last 5-10 minutes. And like, yeah, abs, whatever, bro. I'm on a dirty bulk. That's their coping mechanism, is the dirty bulk. It's like their dirty bulk is their whole life. Yeah, there's a dirty bulk. A dirty bulk. Got nowhere. Plateaued. It's just funny. Coffee alternatives. Mate, green tea, matcha, black tea, paraxanthium, NAD, intranasal spray, nicotine that can give you a buzz, red light, jumps, cold exposure, I feel like all that could really help. Will you be doing another podcast with Dr. John? Yeah, maybe. I definitely enjoyed the last one we did. It was good. He's a smart guy. Hydrogen water, fantastic. And most people don't know that their body actually produces hydrogen every day. And you can nerf the amount or amplify the amount that your body makes based on how you live your life. Where's the science, bro? Where's the science? Where's the science? Where's the science? Where's the science? Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, good sir. Back in the day, when our forefathers wanted to do the amendments and the law, there is such thing as them trying to pass the act of abolishing tyranny through the medical system. They never saw a plausible alternative, so they considered not doing it, and 300 years later, here we are. What happened, bro? I don't know. Research. Still doing research, bro. But let me tell you, science did tell you guys that cigarettes was really good, that you could lose a lot of weight, right, several years ago, and that sugar also helped. I'm not bashing it. Like, there's great stuff. I'm just saying, like, a lot of centralized stuff is like, oh, you don't do what we say, defunded. But what do I know? Anyway, guys, I did want to let you know 2025 is going to be crazy. We got to the 8th of this month for the cutout period for round 2 of dojo mode. Prizes will be sick. The transformations will also be crazy. And honestly, it's just going to be a pretty good to the system. All right. Peace.